Good day to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. On this video, I will be driving through the city of Lawrence, Indiana. I had a viewer not so long ago put a request in the comment section of one of my more recent videos that I made to come here to Lawrence, Indiana and do a video. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a video of the city of Lawrence, Indiana. Now, basically, the city of Lawrence, Indiana is a suburb of Indianapolis. It's right outside of Indianapolis. It's on the far east side of the city. Now, Lawrence is a city of its own here in Marion County, Indiana. It's also considered a extension, if you will, of Indianapolis. Now, the population here in Lawrence is 48,699 people. The population density is 2,454 people. Ever since 2010, the population here has grown by 7.5%. So the population back in 2010 was 46,001 person. Now the population is 48,699 people. Now, I've been to Lawrence, Indiana before. I mean, way back in the day, I went to Ivy Tech Community College here in Lawrence. I never really spent any significant amount of time in the city other than to go to school. So I gotta admit, this is my first time actually driving through Lawrence, Indiana. Beyond just driving through it. And I looked at the reviews of this city, and a lot of people seem to have some very positive things to say about the city. Now, I've talked to a few people out in real life that either know Lawrence or at some point lived in Lawrence before, and some of them tell me that Lawrence has an issue with crime and it's not that good of a place to live. And I guess the looks of some of these communities could be quite deceiving. Now, personally, like I told you guys on many other videos I've made, I'm not a city person. I'm not a suburban person. I'm more of a small, hole-in-the-wall town kind of fella. / world community kind of fella. So, me personally, Lawrence doesn't, just off of what I'm seeing so far, and I guess based off of some of the more recent reviews that I've read that have been put online within the last couple of years, Lawrence doesn't appear to be a bad place to live if this is your cup of tea. Now, me personally, I'm not a city kind of guy. I can't stand the city. Not necessarily because the city is a bad place to live, but more or less, I'm just not a city person. I don't like big crowds. I don't like to deal with a lot of people. The fewer people, the smaller the crowd, the better I am. That's just my personality. So yeah, that's just how I'm not a city person. I can't emphasize that enough. But anyhow, Lawrence. Let's see. And a few other pieces of information about Lawrence, Indiana is, like I said, it's right by Indianapolis. So you're not far from certain amenities that you'll find in the metro. You're not far from downtown. Now, a few notable residents that live here in Lawrence or used to live in Lawrence are Mike Cooley, Greg Oden, John Slagle, S-L-A-G-L-E. All of them were basketball players. And Forrest Landis, which is he's an actor. Pat McAfee. He hosts sports radio, and he used to be an NFL punter for the Indianapolis Colts. These are all the people that are either from Lawrence or they currently reside in Lawrence. Now, the name Lawrence came from a naval hero. He was a hero of the war in 1812. His name was Captain James Lawrence. That's how the city of Lawrence, Indiana got its name. In 1929, the citizens of Lawrence voted for Lawrence to be an independent city. Now, on to some housing prices in the city. Now, I've looked at several houses on Realtor.com, and there's a few houses that were priced at the mid to upper $70,000 range, which is the lower prices for housing here in Lawrence. Now, to no surprise, at least it shouldn't be of any surprise for those of you that know Indianapolis, those houses are currently pending under contract. So those houses are no longer available on the market at this particular moment. They've been put on contract. I just want to show you guys a little bit of the business sector of this city. I don't want you guys thinking that Lawrence is some small, quaint town, because it isn't. Although the population is only 48,000 people, like I just got done telling you guys, Lawrence is also a suburb of Indianapolis. Or Lawrence is also considered an extension of Indianapolis because it's right by Indianapolis. Now, I will say that Lawrence is one of the cheaper suburbs in greater Indianapolis where you can live. Now, when it comes to the crime, Lawrence does have a slightly higher crime number compared to other suburbs of Indianapolis. Now, when I looked at the crime statistics, the crime in this city wasn't too bad. But apparently this city does have a crime issue. I mean, like I said, I can't vouch for how legitimate that statement is. I'm just going off of what people have told me in the streets. But, you know, for those of you that don't want to live directly in the city of Indianapolis and you want to live somewhere in the suburbs, this is going to be one of your lower price suburbs that you can live in. Greater Indianapolis is here in Lawrence, Indiana. Now, one of the major roads here in Lawrence is Pendleton Pike, which, of course, if you stay on Pendleton Pike, it will take you directly into Pendleton, Indiana, for whatever that information is worth to you. If you go north on Pendleton Pike, you'll be in Pendleton, Indiana / Madison County. If you go the other way on Pendleton Pike, you'll be in Indianapolis. Now I'm driving down Maple Lane. I mean, I'm not sure whether this is Lawrence or this is Indianapolis, since the two cities kind of run in together. So somebody leave a comment in the comment section. And let me know whether this is part of Lawrence or this is Indianapolis. I'm tempted to say this is probably more Indianapolis. Because a minute ago when I was driving through Lawrence, it had there were signs all over the place, Lawrence, Indiana. So I'm going to assume this right here is Indianapolis. So in a minute here, I'm going to get out of this area, and I'm going to get back on the main stretch there, and I'm going to get back in Lawrence. Now, me personally, if I wanted to live in the suburbs, Lawrence wouldn't be my idea of suburban living. Because, to me, Lawrence is too close to Indianapolis. To me, Lawrence wouldn't be my idea of suburban living. Now, I know there's a lot of you that are currently watching this video that might feel differently, and that's perfectly okay. But me personally, Lawrence is not my idea of suburban living. To me, if you live in Lawrence, it's almost like living in Indianapolis. To me, I guess if I go far enough into Lawrence, it might have more of a suburban feel. But there's certain parts of Lawrence that to me is not suburban at all. It's very urban, and it's got that urban / city feel. Like right now, I believe I'm still in Lawrence. But to me, I can't really tell the difference between some of the neighborhoods in Lawrence versus Indianapolis. Yes, I'm in Lawrence. I'm in Lawrence. I see signs for Lawrence. So we're on the right track here. Like I was saying a second ago, I think the pace of things here in Lawrence is basically the same as the pace of many parts of Indianapolis. I mean, to me, this is not. I mean, personally, I just don't. To me, I just don't get that quiet, quaint, plush, suburban feel as I drive through Lawrence. As I drive through Lawrence, to me, it feels like driving through northeast Indianapolis. I mean, to me, it feels like driving through parts of northeast Indianapolis. Like when I drive around Lawrence, I mean, to me, it's not like driving through Fishers or Noblesville or Westfield. I mean, to me, Lawrence has that inner city urban feel. Now, I think it's safe to say that this area right here is one of the better parts of the city of Lawrence. Communities like this, I believe, are the type of communities that people who live here in Lawrence take pride in. And I can already tell this is gonna be a 2-video series, because I want to show you guys the part of Lawrence that may seem a bit sketchy, along with the part of Lawrence that's nice and clean and suburban-like. Now this is a park right now, and I'm not really trying to go to the park. Yeah, they charge a fee, so I'm gonna turn my happy ass around here, because I ain't trying to pay no fee for no park. Here's Ivy Tech. I went to school here several years ago, took a couple of classes. Alright folks, I know this first video was a lot of commercial driving through commercial areas, more so than suburban areas, or more so than residential areas. But my phone is getting ready to cut me off in a couple of minutes. I'm going to cut off right now. And stay tuned for my part 2 video of Lawrence, Indiana. On that video, you'll see more residential stuff. So, everybody have a blessed one, and I will see you guys on the next video.